Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Bengal Tiger Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me today is Gary Redus, the assistant coach for LSU women's basketball. Coach, how are you doing today?
So, Brune, how you doing? I'm great. I'm
I'm
great.
doing great. We were just talking about the Spurs and their trade for De'Aaron Fox, and as a Spurs fan, we're doing all right
Yeah, yeah.
over there.
I told you, I
So,
see happiness in your eyes. So I'm happy for you.
it's been a while. It's been a while, but we're good. Um, we got a lot to talk about. Last time I had you on, I think it was like August, September, or something like that before
Okay.
the season. And I do want to talk about the 2025 class as well a little bit now that they're all signed and in the class for
Right.
sure. And so we'll do that later on. We'll talk a little bit about this season first, though. I do want to ask you though, what was it? Did you get as much of a laugh as we all did out of Kim Mulkey slapping the clipboard out of Simone Augusta's hand?
I mean, I didn't see it like when it happened, but on the playback, I saw it and I was like, looks about right. I mean, I think that,
It was that kind of game.
yeah, I mean, when the game is close, when the game is tight, you kind of know what you're gonna get. I think because Simone is the newest, I think that we all know. Like I made my book that I have now is like this
Yeah,
small, right?
yeah,
We all know to hold on to our stuff really, really tight. We know when she comes around, like that it may be a hit on the arm or like a push, or if like she's about to get a tech and we grab her, we know that she may like throw
get
an
you off
elbow
for
or yeah, like
bro.
it's kind of like the official like welcome to the staff moment when
Mm,
she like goes super
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I could not stop laughing at that. I spent the whole after that happened, like for a full 5 6 minutes. I was sitting there, me and Corey and everyone were just sitting like, this is the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Simone is
Kim
just
Mulkey,
standing
man.
there, like, what just happened?
Yeah, she was like the Kim Mulkey experience.
It's tremendous, man. Never a dull moment. It was
Never.
great. That was a great
Never.
game too.
It was.
Speaking of it, y'all are now 23-1 overall, 8-1 in the SEC after yesterday's win over Mississippi State. Just I feel like this 3-game homestand for y'all was really big. A&M to Oklahoma to Mississippi State. Just overall, how do you think that? How are y'all feeling? And how does it feel to now be at 8-1 in conference?
I mean, I guess it's cool. I mean, we don't that's not really what we look at. That's not really we play to a standard, man, and we're just trying to get better. I think every year we understand, especially when the team is as new as it is this year. Like we're doing something completely different without Angel.
Hmm.
Uh, we're playing different, and we knew that it would take some time. We knew that everybody would have to really get adjusted. I mean, when you have a new point guard, uh, and when you have a point guard that's playing along really really strong personalities, I think it takes some time to just all kind of iron itself out. And we don't think we're there yet. And we think that we still have a lot of room to grow. And I think that's the fun part about this team. It is also the stressful part about this team because we want to continue to see the improvement. Uh, but it's good. I think that we're improving defensively. I think that from the beginning of the year, like that was really one of the main things that we've been stressing. Offensively, we know that that's always a work in progress as a year goes on, just because of the way we play. We play a really free flowing style uh, where we give them a whole lot of freedom to make plays, but also make mistakes. So we aren't giving them all of the answers. They have to figure out some of the answers by themselves. So we knew the offense is always like up
Yeah.
until March, like it's always continuing to kind of smooth out. But defensively, we want it to be better, and I think that over the past couple games, even though Oklahoma scored 100 points,
Mhm.
we felt like early on we played really good defensively that game. We felt like A&M we were good defensively. South Carolina we felt like we were good defensively. And yesterday against Mississippi State, we felt like to hold their leading scorer, well below our average. We feel like defensively we've made strides. So, we just want
Yeah.
to keep getting better.
Yeah, I asked Mulkey about that yesterday, actually, about the defense and the transition defense, because I remember just 2 months ago we were like that it was such a work in progress, and
Yeah.
I feel like part of it also was the big three, maybe not Anissa as much. I think Flage and Michaela getting that elevated offensive roles and having to manage. Like people don't realize it. They're just like, oh, she was a great defender, and now she's maybe not defending as well. Like what happened? It's like
Right.
going from 12, 13 points per game to 20 points per game.
Yeah.
Like the offensive load. That's something I learned like early covering college like teams. It's like no, this is incredibly hard. It takes like months to get adjusted to being focal point offense and being a defensive stopper.
Yeah. I mean, we expect a lot out of them. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's that's the thing with Mulkey and Starkey. Like we expect a whole lot out of them, and they're really good. Like, and I think the thing that we preach to them, when you're really good and you want to be considered one of the best players in the country, that's kind of what you got to do. Like whoever it is, like no matter the position, like Flage should be able to guard them. Like if it's a really good guard, Flage should be able to guard him. If it's a really good bigger wing, Michaela should be able to guard him. Like anybody inside, Niche should be able to guard him. So no matter what you have to do offensively, you have to do it defensively. And I think to see them start to take on those challenges. I mean, Michaela is so much better defensively now.
So much
And she's taking on the challenge. Like I think that she got tired of hearing us kind of call her the weak link defensively because we challenge you. We challenge you and we just kind of say it. So to see her make those strides was great. And to see Flage really start to take matchups personally. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see because every matchup should be taken personally, not just one where it may be some back and forth or whatever. Like it should be every single one of them. So to see them start to make those strides, it's been really good to see.
It might be like an unfair question, but has anything surprised you? Or I guess looking back on it from the early portion of the season where you had a vision of how this year might go in terms of whatever, has anything surprised you to where y'all are now, either schematically or rotationally, or just how somebody's continuing to improve throughout the year?
No, not really. I mean, I think we knew what we had.
Yeah.
I think you always hope for some things. And I think you can be disappointed in something, but
Can I
then
pitch one to you?
okay, what's up?
Maybe. I don't know. I think going into the year, I had like Jersey as a really good 4, but
Mm,
now she's become like a good 5, and she's continuing to improve.
yeah,
It's a process, but
yeah.
like I thought it would be like, all right, she's like a backup for Anissa in a way, and
Hmm.
now she's capable. She just started yesterday and had a great game at the
Yeah,
5. Like that's probably the biggest surprise to me is like, okay, she goes the whole life being like a wing guard, and
yeah.
now she's not just a 4, she's like a 5 and doing it at a pretty high level.
It's the process of it all. I mean, we knew that she would have to play a lot of minutes at the 5
Hmm.
potentially, just because it's hard to take Nice off the court, man.
Yeah.
It's really hard because of all that she does. So we knew that it would all the rotation inside would kind of all be by committee. So we knew she had to, and I mean, again, it's still a work in progress, and we want to see her continue to get better. Uh, I mean, we want to see her rebound better. We want to
Mhm.
see her like really fight and stop fouling so much because we need her in there. But we also want to see her do a little bit more of what she did yesterday. Like she's really good off the bounce. Like she's really good off the bounce. But even when she catches it inside, I mean, she can make some stuff happen. But it's all about her mindset and it's all about her being aggressive. I think that because Samaya didn't play yesterday, I think that she could play a little bit more free. But we would like to see her play that freely all the time. Like it is what it is. If you mess up, sometimes you're gonna come out. It is what it is. Like just play and play how you can play. And Jersey can play. Jersey can really play. And we have been impressed with Jersey. But there's so much further that she can go. Like, she wants to play in the WNBA, so she has to keep improving. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought just to get technical, I thought she was really good against the zone because she just catches it and she could just take the 5 off the
Yes.
dribble. Like that's
Yes.
that you can't zone that or you have to collapse. And so
Right.
that was huge. I did want to ask about the South Carolina game because it was a like marquee moment. I think for it is every year for y'all as a team and for anybody. But I left that game really encouraged. Obviously y'all had chances to cut it to like 6, cut it to 5 in the fourth quarter. Hung with them on the road. Like 2 years ago, you play them on the road and it's shell shocked. 20 points. That y'all
Yeah.
didn't look shell shocked in that game to me.
We feel like we can play with anybody. I mean, we feel like we have really good players, and really good players that are coming together as a team. Uh, we feel like it was even, other than the one run that they made.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for us, it's like, I guess we could say like, oh, that's great, they didn't blow us out, but this is LSU, so we don't really look at it like that. Like, we went up there and we got beat again. So, I mean, it's positives that we played really good defensively against them. We didn't play as well in the post as we would have liked. You get what I'm saying? Like, we felt like that it was a lot of things that we could control to be able to win that game. But I mean, you can't go up to Columbia, South Carolina, and allow yourself to have a 3-minute just mental breakdown where you allow them to go on a 8-0 run, because it's hard to fight back. It's hard to fight back from a double-digit deficit, up there. They're really good. They're really tough. They're well coached. They're disciplined. So they're not going to make that many mistakes to allow you back in it. So, we felt like early on we were playing really well. And we felt like we were giving ourselves a chance to win, but we just kind of broke down for 2-3 minutes, and honestly, that was the game.
Yeah. I mean, I could ask you about every player on the roster just to go through them, but I just want to ask about one. I think Michaela, the last 2 games, obviously has taken it to another level. Um, what has it been like seeing her? Have you seen anything change? Have you seen it just be a confidence thing? Like, she's obviously been really good all year, but this is different level right here. This is like all American level she's playing at the past 2 games.
It's what she should be playing at. I mean, uh, it's Michaela Williams. I mean, she was the best player in the nation in high school. She was the best freshman in our league last year. We expect our kids to get better, and I mean, she's been no different. I mean, early on, I think that she's so good that when things don't go perfect sometimes, and it's with a lot of them, but when
Mm-hmm.
things don't go perfect for her, she just gets a little down on herself. And I think that she feels good. She feels good. She's finally really healthy. When her shot's going, she feels really good. And her shot's been going. Her shot's been going, but we're asking her to do a lot. I think all year we've been asking her not just to be, one of the best wings in the country, but she's been playing the point.
Mm-hmm.
She's been playing the 4 when we go small. And I think that she sacrificed a lot of what she could do to help the team win. I think that when KG really had it going for like those 4, 5, 6 games, Michaela, she didn't. A lot of those times we were going small, uh, and it was sacrificing a little bit of her offensive output.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but she didn't pout about it. She literally just wants to win, and I think that it's really rewarding for her. And I love when a kid who's really just been all about winning starts to see the production and starts to see the
Yeah.
good things happening for them. I think it's just all a product of that, because I mean she literally just wants to win, whether it's her scoring, her playmaking, her defending, uh really whatever it is. Like, she just wants to win. So it's been really good. She works hard though. She works hard. She puts in a whole lot of time on her game. And she's just, I don't know, she's a joy to coach. She's really coachable. She takes the things that you tell her and she really tries to put it into effect out there on the court. You know, some of the when she hits a shot, she's gonna keep on shooting them. So in the first half, you saw that kind of yesterday. Like she was on fire. She had the quickest 10 points ever yesterday. But I thought in the second half, like, and it's something that we've consistently been saying, like, just because you're hitting shots, you shouldn't just start wanting to hit a million threes. Like, get to the basket. Like, go get some easy stuff. Like, I really think that she can get to the free throw line more. I think that's the thing with Michaela, just like we just talked about with Jersey. Yes, it's good, and she's been playing really good, but it's so much further that she can go. Like, it's so much more that she can do. So I think around here, like, we don't really, yes, it's good, but, you know, we aren't satisfied because we have really big goals, and she has really big goals. So, you know, it's more that she can do.
Yeah, she's awesome. The passing yesterday was awesome too. I mean, she can see the whole court, make the one-handed passes. It's awesome. Before we move on to the 2025 class, I did want to ask the SEC in general this year. I know Kim was, saying for a couple years that it was like, oh, the SEC is underrated. Well, now the SEC is just absurd. And like you look at, y'all have already beaten Oklahoma, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, all these teams, and then you look ahead, you still got Tennessee again, Texas, and Kentucky, and so on. I know it's just one game at a time, but when you step back and look at like the whole SEC, like what are your thoughts on the conference as a whole and how fun it is this year?
It's a grind, man. Like it's a grind how it always is. I mean, yeah, when you add OU and Texas.
Yeah, this year is tougher though. Like, not to say it was bad the last couple of years, but this year is like by far the best.
Now they're just ranking the teams.
I don't know.
That's literally all it is. Last year, Vanderbilt was good. Like last year, Ole Miss was like a ranked team. Alabama was like a ranked team. Like, yes, I get what you're saying.
But
like,
when you add the other two, yes, I see what you're saying.
When you add Texas and OU, like you get a couple top tier teams, right? But for us, like this year, it's Bama is ranked. Ole Miss is, I guess, I don't know if they're ranked again, but they should be. Vandy is ranked. Who else is it? Like you got teams that are improved.
Kentucky,
like
all of them.
That's all it is. I mean, it's tough. It's tough, but we look at it the same way. Like we got a couple more good teams, that we play against, but it's a grind every single night. Like we don't look past any teams. Like I think that's one thing that Coach Mulkey just does so well. I think that it's easy to get caught up looking at the entire schedule and looking at, the big picture. We don't. Like we took these last 3 games, we wanted to protect our home court. Coming off of South Carolina, we did not want to drop one at home. And that's how we looked at it. Now we're looking at it like we can't slip up on the road at Missouri. And then
been playing real well. Missouri's been playing real well.
They're probably one of the most improved teams in the SEC, along with Texas A&M, especially before Coulibaly got hurt.
Yeah.
And then you get the rematch with Tennessee, so what kind of game that's going to be, and then you got a week to prepare for Texas. So you take the Texas game, and then you kind of go from there. But we aren't really looking ahead. Like it's really one game at a time here, and it's really just us just trying to get better. We feel like if we continue to improve, then we just kind of control what we can control, and we control our own destiny. So
yeah,
the SEC is tough though. The SEC is tough. I've been a part of the SEC for a really long time, and this is one of the tougher years. So I get what you're saying, but it's just we're just kind of focusing on us and what we can control.
Very fair. All right, let's move to the 25 class real quick, because everybody knows this class is really, really impactful, I think, when just looking at LSU as a whole. Y'all have done this now. Like, this isn't new to be getting high-level recruits, but I think this class is just really exciting for people. And so I wanted to go one by one, just for maybe people who don't know these players. If they're subscribed to the Bengal Tiger On3, if I've talked about them, I've broken them down a lot, you know that. But for the video side, for YouTube.
So do people not want me to be fired anymore because I can't recruit? I'm just asking.
You're safe. You're
I'm
safe.
safe.
You're
Okay.
not on the hot seat anymore. You're
Gotcha.
good.
Gotcha.
Let's start with Grace Knox. Grace Knox, I love her game, 6'2". I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like kind of a Anissa Morrow-esque, where I think she's an incredibly high level rebounder, awesome athlete, kind of does everything on the court. Just how do you kind of evaluate Grace Knox and how she plays?
We look at Grace to be kind of like you said, like Anissa, like Angel. They can rebound. Kids who can rebound can have a lot of success here. But she's not. I think as you see, like Anissa is a little bit different than Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Grace is going to be a little bit different than Anissa. Uh, she's really skilled, but she has to continue to work on her skill level. But she's tough, man. She's tough. She plays really hard. I think when she gets in this environment and she has to play hard every single possession, every single game, I think it's just going to bring the best out of her. We're really excited for her to get here and have to really compete. I think that's the thing. I want to see how competitive they all are,
Mm-hmm.
because it's, when you're watching them, you can think they're competitive, but you don't know how competitive they are until you put them in a really competitive atmosphere. So for Grace, I think that she's one that we have really high expectations for coming in. Uh, I think it's going to be all up to her. It's going to be all how she reacts to when she gets here. She wants to come here. She wants to get, stronger. She wants to get in really good shape. She can do a lot. She can do a lot. She can shoot the ball. Uh, I think the thing that I'm excited to see her. I'm excited to see her when she gets to play one on one with her back to the basket. She can face you up. She can hit the jump shot. She can do all those things. But I don't think that in high school or in AAU, how we play. I haven't seen her just under the basket posting somebody up, getting layups,
Yeah.
and being that close to the basket makes it a little bit easier to rebound. So I'm excited to see exactly what she's going to be able to do, kind of from that perspective.
Yeah, she's obviously a top 10 player in the class, McDonald's All-American. Then we go to Zakiya Johnson here, a real versatile guard. I'll throw it to you. This was a big recruiting win, I know, for y'all out of Kentucky. How do you evaluate her game and just what she brings?
She's like I think for us, she was the most like guards that Mulkey has had historically. Uh, she's big, she's strong, she's versatile, she can
Yeah.
post you up, she can take you off the bounce. Her jump shot is improving. But she can do a lot of different things. She's been a high level player for a very long time. And I think that she's one. uh I'm excited just because I it's still kind of tough for me to believe that she really, really stepped out of her comfort zone and decided to come to LSU. Uh, I didn't. That was the one that I really just didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know. You know that. You
I mean,
know that.
she's right between Kentucky and Louisville. She's like
Yes.
right in the middle of them.
I think that it would have been really easy for her to go to one of those programs where she would have been a star right away. But to decide to come to LSU, where I think that she was just most comfortable. I think she wants to just be herself, like on and off the court. And I think that's the beauty of it with Z. Just because she has a lot of potential both on and off the court to be able to do all the different things that she wants to do. But on the court, I think that she has so much room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like she can be really good, but I think she can help us right away. So we're excited that another one that we're excited about, a high level defender. Kids got to be able to come here and they got to be able to guard somebody. And I think that she'll be able to guard a lot of different positions. I think that she's kind of like, she's not really like Michaela or Flage. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But I think that she would be a really good complement to both of them. So
Yeah.
I think that she's one that, you know, I think that it'll be easier for her to find her niche when she gets
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Two left. Bella Hines, I think, is someone who you see the scoring output, you see the points, you see the highlights. She just dropped somebody and hits a three. It's like she every time you watch her, you're like, okay, this is an elite scorer, and that alone, you're like, okay, she can come in and hit threes. She can come in and get to the line and all that stuff. And you'll see her continue to develop her game, but just from a scoring aspect, I feel like that's where you're like, oh, this is like a can't miss prospect in that regard.
I mean, offensively, she does exactly what it is that we do, especially, as a two guard.
Mm-hmm.
She reminds us a little of Jasmine Carson, maybe with a little bit more flavor to it. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We needed somebody who could come in right away and hit shots. But I think that hitting shots, yes, she can do that. The first time I went to go see her play in high school, I saw her play in AAU, but I think a lot of times that's kind of skewed because it's a lot of good players, especially on her AAU
Yeah, I was
team.
gonna say that team was different.
Stacked. I went to go see her play in high school, and they were playing a really good team. They were playing a top-ranked team in New Mexico. It was a crazy environment. It was hostile, and she had like 48. And I remember watching, and I remember texting the staff, and I was like, she's better than we think she is. Like, she's a lot, but we haven't gotten to see this because we've been watching AAU games, like where
Mm-hmm.
she's a role player. She can fill it up. She can fill it up, and she has a scary, scary, scary hot streak. She can hit shots, but it's not just the threes. Like, we do the ball screen. She can come off that and hit the little mid range the same way all of our kids can. I don't think that it'll be a huge learning curve offensively for her.
Yep.
So I think that was a positive for us. But defensively, I think a lot of people don't realize she does something that not a lot of kids do. She takes charges. Like the game that she had 48, she took like 4 or 5 charges. And you
Yeah.
don't see the best players on teams out there taking charges. During AAU, I mean, she got them so many possessions back because if she's down there, she's going to take a charge. And you don't expect it from a lot of the higher level athletes. You don't expect them to
Yep.
take a lot of charges. And especially like you see it from Poa. Like I think that she's always given us, a little something different because, we running around trying to steal the ball from you, trying to block shots.
Yeah.
And then you got this one kid in here who will take a charge. So I think Bella is really well-rounded in her game. I think of course, the fans love her just because they get to see all of her highlights on social media and everything like that. But
Yes.
she's going to be a really good player. I think that the one thing that she understood from the very beginning was being able to come in and compete by playing a role. And I think that because she does something nobody else does on our team, I think she's excited about being able to come in and potentially do that right away.
Yeah. And then Divine Burge, McDonald's All-American snub of all of them,
One
man.
of the biggest snubs of all time, man.
Of all time, like unanimous top 15 player in the country. Honestly, may higher, like top 12, top 10 player in the country.
Yeah.
I thought it was like she turned it down, but then apparently she's just a
No,
straight snub. Like I
yeah.
don't know, but I having watched her games. Obviously, you've watched infinitely more, but like having watched her games, just like the ability to handle the ball, to pass, and then she has like a step back jumper she can shoot. She's long, she's 6 foot. Like she checks all the boxes I needed to see as an elite player. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Divine?
She's a Swiss Army knife, and I think that Swiss Army knives, they excite you so much because there's so many different things that they can do. And I think for us, it's just getting her on campus and seeing exactly kind of what it is, like in football terms, because I've been following like the football stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you got a defensive back who can come in and you want them to potentially be able to play boundary corner,
Mm-hmm.
but they can thump a little bit, so you don't mind playing them at safety, but they may be a really good like star nickel type.
Yeah.
That's how we feel about Divine. Like, I think that she can come in right away and yes, comfortably play the wing, but I think that she can. We think that she can play the point. And I think being able to do those different things, I think it really excites us because it's like that much size in the backcourt, like, is exciting, and the different things that she can do with the ball. She'll call after a game. She'll be like, didn't have a good game. We went to go see her play, right? We the whole staff went to go see her play, and she didn't feel like she had a really good game, and it wasn't her best. And then I like saw the stats on socials like afterwards, and she had like 19, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals, 4 blocks. I was like, oh, she didn't play great, but that's her like bad game.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the exciting part for us, because when she does like explode, she'll call and she'll be like, yeah, I had a good game. I'm like, okay, what you do? Like, I had 26, 14 rebounds, 12 assists, 8 steals, 3 blocks, but
Yeah.
I was playing hard. Like, she's a kid. She just wants to play the right way. And I think that when you have some of those kids kind of mixed in, you got to mix some of those kids in for us. And I think that the entire 25 class was really just about adding versatility, kind of diversifying our talent pool. I think right now we got a lot of kids who can score the ball, who can do a lot of different things. But I think mixing in some kids who, can do some different things, whether they are a shooter, whether they are a table setter, whether they are a defender, whether they like to post up a little bit more, whether they can rebound. You get what I'm saying? That's another thing Divine does really well. I think that having a lead guard who can rebound the ball and then push it, that's something we hadn't had much of. You get what I'm saying? And I think that all of those things, they really excite us. We feel like we signed 4 McDonald's All-Americans. We don't really care about the rankings, but the rankings, they make it look good. So,
yeah, the number 1 ranked class, anyways. So
yeah,
at least by On3. I don't know about these other outlets.
By all of them. Well, pretty much all of them.
I was just, look, On3's got y'all. Nothing else.
We
On3's got
appreciate
y'all. I do appreciate the football analogy there. So we'll have to have you on.
I've been keeping up. I've been learning.
Yeah, we gotta get you on for a football pod now. Coach G's breakdown.
Yeah, I'm learning.
That's what we gonna have. That's what we gonna have. All right, Coach. I've kept you long enough. I appreciate you coming on, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
For sure.